also for people that, are kind of new to the industry, if you send work out and it doesn't get picked up, like I say, there's so many reasons. Sometimes it has nothing to do with your work.
I've had the pleasure over the last 3 years or so to interview a ton of industry folks in the surface pattern and illustration industry. And I have been going through these old interviews and pulling out some really amazing advice and pieces and calling them interview gems. And today I'm bringing to you a clip from a longer interview with Salli Swindell. And Salli is the co-creator of They Draw and Cook, They Draw and Travel, They Draw and Garden, Illustrators Circle. She has created a lot of really wonderful communities for illustrators with her brother Nate. Besides being a really talented illustrator, Salli worked for American Greetings for 10 years, which you can hear about in our longer interview. But in this clip, we talk about something that I know is on the minds of a lot of designers, artists, illustrators, which is the idea of signature style. And I really love what Salli has to say about this subject. We also talk about things to keep in mind when you are sending off work to art directors. And her advice really echoes my own advice on this subject, which I know will help drive home the point. So check out this clip and then check out the longer interview with Salli Swindell.
And one thing you suggest is that they have a pretty defined style so that an art director knows what they're getting into when they hire that illustrator. I love that. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I know that that's advice that a lot of people give. And I also know that a lot of newer artists feel this like pressure to figure out what's my style, what do I like to do. And as someone who has worked in-house and has had to do a lot of different styles, and I still say I don't really have a defined style. I like to kind of go off the rails sometimes. I'm sort of like, you're okay, don't stress out. Like you'll get there, but also you don't need a style. So let's debate it.
Yeah, let's go here because that's so funny. I don't think I have a style.
Of course. Well, that's
Here we go. Yeah. I think all my work looks like me. I mean, looks like the same person did it.
Yeah.
But
that's
sometimes
a style, I mean, that's
I mean, sometimes I'm adding texture, sometimes I'm not. Everything sort of leans to the right when I draw it, and I don't draw exceptionally well, which is part of my style now. But Nate and I were talking about this because when I read that we were going to discuss this, I'm like, let's go down this road.
Yeah.
Because I think he said, and I agree, one thing for sure, don't put on your website something that's a one-hit wonder. If you cannot do that, again, do not put it on your website.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you have a style that's more graphic and you have one that's maybe more illustrative, just group them so that they sit together. So it shows you can do that style more than once.
Don't put up the one oil painting you did in a community class that is like so gorgeous with the
Yes.
It was like, I don't do oil paintings, but I did that one time. Okay, that's a fair one.
So just make sure that if you've got more than one sort of style, show the art director that you can do it more than once. Put up collections, or in Nate's case, he just has like so many different websites for his own work. One is all for maps. One is his website that has his teaching platforms or different things that he does. But some people's style is so specific that they have only like 4 colors they use.
Yeah, I know.
So some people are like, that's great.
Yeah.
But if that's not what an art director wants, moving on. Because like you, I actually think I built my entire career on being so versatile, because an art director could say, well, we need all these different looks in the line. Can you do all of them? Yes.
Yeah.
And, so I'm doing like a gestural line here. I'm doing a graphic Christmas tree here. I'm doing a cute bunny here.
Yeah. That's what you need to do if you're working in-house or if
Yeah.
you're freelancing for a company that does, sells to a lot of retailers or whatever it is. They need to produce different styles and, yeah.
Yes. So the thing I get really big on is your style is so much more than your technique. Your style is, do you turn the work in on time?
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Are you a pleasant person to work with? Do you understand the brief?
Right.
That is your style. I mean, I really think that's why I have had such a successful career, because there are so many illustrators who are so expert in so many things, but I do get things done on time, and maybe a few times I've been a pain to work with, but sometimes I couldn't help it.
Bad day.
Yeah, bad day. But I think that is so much a part of it. Your style is not just your artistic aesthetic.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I can get behind that.
Especially for people that are just coming in. Yeah, people that are just starting out,
Yeah.
You need to build that relationship really strong from the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting when you were saying this at the beginning about in the 90s, or that without the internet, you would have repeat clients because there was nowhere else to look. But I think that is a little bit of the benefit of some of the product line stuff that we do. Maybe for editorial illustration, it might be different. But for things like greeting cards and things that come out, not weekly, quarterly, and you have these product lines going back to the same person that already knows how to create these products. Is pretty much all of my clients are repeat clients. Like, I don't have anyone who's like just come to me for one thing and then I've never seen again, really. And I think with a discipline like graphic design or something, it might be like if you're designing a logo, how often do you need a logo? So you have to find a lot of people who need a logo. Yeah. But especially for product-based art, I think, that's just a continual cycle. And so getting into the groove of that product takes a little time, and art directors don't want to kind of retrain people. It's like a greeting card. It's like, okay, fine, it's just paper. Like, it's not that complicated, but there is embellishments and tip-ons and all that kind of stuff. And like knowing that language and knowing that those intricacies and understanding what a laser cut is and all that kind of stuff, that is knowledge to bring to the table that if you have to learn that from an art director, then they don't want to teach that to someone new every 2 months or whatever. So
exactly. And then add on top of that, is this person going to deliver on time?
Right, exactly.
But yeah, it's funny because a greeting card doesn't seem like it's that involved, but holy cow.
Of course, there's so much to do. And also every different company probably has a different way to set things up. So it's like, you might know what a laser die cut is, but what does that template look like? What do you have to do with your art file to make that correct for their manufacturers, etc. So there is a lot to it.
And every company has sort of their different mission statement. Like, we're the fashion-y greeting card company. We're doing like super on trend, super edgy, whereas some are more traditional. And you need to do your research if you're going to enter that market. Like, where do you fit? I mean, there's like up with paper. Can you envision how these things fold and pop up? And
it's true. And so when you start working for one of these companies, it's getting to know what works for their customer and their product line. Because I know I work with a few stationery companies, and each one has a different thought. They're looking for a little bit of a different vibe. I know what's going to be like a slam dunk with them versus like, oh, that's nice, I like the idea, but it's not quite what our customer is looking for. So that is the thing that it's for new artists out there who are watching this and like, I don't know what die cuts are, I don't know what they're custom. Don't stress out. It's not that is not the thing. But my point of saying all that is that once you learn that, first of all, do try to learn as fast as you can when you get in there. Ask a lot of questions, and that's okay. But also, that is something that makes you valuable. So keep up with it, learn it, and then don't ask the same question the next time because you figured it out. Or you can ask a clarifying question, but don't act like you've never heard of this before when they come back to you the second time, right? That's what.
Yes. And also for people that, are kind of new to the industry, if you send work out and it doesn't get picked up, like I say, there's so many reasons. Sometimes it has nothing to do with your work.
This is 100%. This is like a main talking point of mine.
Yeah.
Feel like they're rejected and it's not good enough. It's like, no, it has nothing to do.
If you did like a cute animal riding a carrot for Easter, a cute little bunny in a carrot car, well, it's probably wonderful, but maybe they just have one in the line.
Yeah, exactly.
In their planogram, and they don't need to.
Planogram. Okay, so now I know you're my in-house soulmate, right? Because that's what I'm always trying to describe this, and I'm thinking the word planogram, but I don't use it because most people don't, But I'm like, they just green and you're giving them blue, and I'm thinking about the planogram.
And you can't have 3 red cards sitting next to each other.
Absolutely not. That's gonna look horrible.
I know. I just think, oh my gosh, this kind of talk makes me almost want to go right back in.
I don't know. But planogram, for those who are like, what are these people talking about, is like the sort of the graph or the version of what the shelf is going to look like. So if it's placemats, if it's greeting cards, it's like where each card is going to be when you go into the store. So as she was saying, you wouldn't want to have 3 red cards right next to each other and then no red cards in the rest of the shelf. That would look very strange. You'd see this block.
Yes. And it's all a balance. If they've already got too many wife birthday cards.
Those are things that buyers have to consider. And so your artwork is just, does it fit in the slot that we've got open or not? And it's not about the quality of the work so much of the time. So
right. And as you know, with greeting cards, you need to make a connection with someone. The visual on the card will usually be the thing that draws someone to pick that card up. If they see, I always use this example, if they see a card with sushi and they have a friend that they always go out every Thursday for sushi, they're going to come to that card and be like, oh, my friend and I love sushi. I'm going to buy this for my, that kind of incremental sale. They didn't go to buy that card, but they picked up that card. Yeah, it's like a shared experience you have with someone. It resonates with the two of you, and it's this little connection, and you're letting her know, you pay attention to her. Like, there's all those little things.
I love that.
Head to elizabethsilver.com/learn if you want more straightforward support with surface pattern design and creative business. Learn all about how to create successful licensing collections, how to build your surface pattern design business, how to quickly get a pitch out to a potential client, or how to use Adobe Bridge. And be sure to check out some targeted help I have with portfolios and my free workshop ready for surface pattern clients. There's a lot to see at elizabethsilver.com/learn.